899. So I'm almost at 900 episodes, and I couldn't think of a better way to one of my last episodes of the year to feature the incredible Abby Butler. So how you doing?
Good. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, it just happens, right? Magically speaking, I just magically one day you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, 899 episodes. What the hell happened to my life?
That's
Yeah,
that's amazing because I wake up and I'm like, three,
three,
three.
three. That's it.
Yeah.
Three and
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. My sense I have like a weird wonky like sense of time. So like things get done very slowly. I feel like my brain just like moves so fast that everything around me is moving super slow. I don't know. Like when I go to the gym, I have to work out in like 5 minute sets, or else it feels like I've been there for 4 hours. So
Interesting. So you just got no attention span.
I have no attention span whatsoever. Except
Okay.
for when I'm really, really like focused, I'm like into something, like I can see it in my head type of thing, like picture it, I guess. So yeah.
So, okay. So I have two thoughts. I
Okay.
actually have three thoughts. Let's see if I'm on to something or I'm on something. We'll figure this out. Okay, in just a second here.
Okay.
So I'm going to get that when you're teaching, because you teach during the day, right?
Sometimes,
So
yes.
yeah, you have a lot of energy diverted. Like how many? What's your average student intake a day when you're teaching? How many
Anywhere
students?
between at this point, anywhere between 15 and 30.
So okay, even we'll go minimum just because we're going to be nice. That's still 15 people you're diverting all kinds of energy and attention and detail on. And the
Mm-hmm.
more students you have, like comfortably speaking, this is a back in my day kind of moment here, right? Teachers were very comfortable between 20 to 25 students. That was the max. That's a good number. The teacher can take care of everybody
Yeah.
relatively. At least everybody gets a bit of attention. Everybody gets a bit of
Yeah.
attention, which is something that at 20, 25 you can do. When you get over 25, you can't do it. So
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that working with especially like the school system that I do freelance stuff for, um that like the higher number of students, I yes, I'm a very individual, like I like to speak to groups of people and explain what's happening and what we're going to be doing, and then make sure that like each person or each kid has their own, like I get on their level, I know what they're struggling with or what they're excelling at or something like that. So yeah, 25 is pretty high, but a lot of times too, there are the kids that just want to do their thing. So, what if you can determine like what kids those are and know that they're actually like in on the thing that you're doing, then those ones are the ones where you're like, you doing good still? Like, cool. I'm gonna help this one that needs my attention, because there's always two or three that like are like, oh, I want to show you what I'm doing, I want to show you every single thing that I'm doing, like there are
oh
those
yeah,
Twitter updates like all the time. But then there's the kids that are like, I'm fine, I just, I have this basic question, can you explain this to me? And then once they get it, they're cool to move on their own.
yes.
So it really depends on your class. It does help to have another teacher in the classroom a lot of times, especially with the younger kids. Um, but I it depends. It depends on the class, because I've had really small classes that are just like bonkers, like batshit crazy. That it's just like, all right, well, like none of you guys are listening to me. None of you guys are into this, so I'm just gonna back off. So
Well, yeah. Especially if you're like a substitute teacher, that's almost like the rite of passage. You have to pretty much win that battle within the first hour of your time there, or you've lost for the day. Like that's just the way it is.
see, and
Right?
I'm not a substitute teacher though. I'm
Yeah.
a project teacher, so they bring me in for very, very specific things. So I generally will go in and be teaching generally like the basics of comic books, just how
Well,
to lay out a comic book page type of thing, like storytelling, things like that. So they bring me in for very specific things. It's not substitute. I'm not teaching somebody else's thing. I'm teaching my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't mean that as an insult.
No, not at all.
No. But you still,
teachers are talented.
Well, it's just there is I still think you still face almost a similar challenge. The first you come in, people were like, okay, what is she, right? What is she? Who she is? What she's doing? And you got realistically 10 to 15 minutes to make them make a decision about you, right? You can change their minds. You can change their minds within the first hour a little bit. It can go both ways, but you essentially got an hour. And at that hour, the students have made up their minds. I am going to listen to you, or fuck this. I'm not doing shit. And I've seen both ends of this. If the substitute teacher can either be liked or feared, I've seen both, liked or feared, right? The students will listen, right?
Yeah.
Most teachers go for liked, because really feared doesn't quite have the same weight it once did way back in my day. It doesn't really. So most people go. So most of the time you're trying to get them engaged. And if you can do
I feel like the easiest thing to do that is like, just like with a book, you have a good hook. Like, and that's super easy for me, because what I'm coming in to teach is like, that's the hook. Like, I'm like, comic books, and they're like, so that's easy for me. But like if you have something cool about yourself, as something like relatable, like something that always helps me out when I'm teaching something that's not my core subject, is when I'm like, do you guys play Minecraft? Because I don't know what's going on with this thing that's happening in Minecraft right now, or tell me about the game that you are playing right now. Once they know that like you can communicate on that level with them, then it's like, it becomes fun. So
guilty secret. I follow a couple of Minecraft witches.
Why is that a guilty secret?
Because people think that, like, again, because most of the time you would look at someone like me and be like, horror games or RPGs, right? No, it's Minecraft. There's a couple communities in there that are really awesome. I dig them. They're fun. I'm going to just say a shout out to Miss Shigatsu right now, just because she is one of the ones I go to, right? She's really fun. Like, it's just building stuff. There's something very zen about Minecraft. Is essentially digital Lego. Like, that's what it is. It's digital Lego, and Lego's still the coolest toy in the universe.
I've been playing Minecraft on and off for the past like 15 years. So I don't think that's a crazy secret.
No.
I mean, like, and the whole thing is like, we're in the entertainment industry. So being able to engage in all different types of media, whether it's horror, whether it's kid stuff. Like, I mean, I play this game like beat multiple times, called Boyfriend Dungeon, and it's just a little cute dungeon crawler. It's like everybody has that same reaction when they hear that, and it's like the most wholesome game I've played. Like, it's one of the most top 10, one of the most wholesome games I've ever played.
Does it make fun of your princess in another castle thing that was established in Mario way back in the day? Like, your boyfriend's in another dungeon? No.
It's kind of a dating sim, but it's also like you're talking to people, and it's like, okay, we're dating, but also like, or you're trying to date this person, but also like everybody's got like issues and stuff. Like, it's real, like it's a real thing. And the developers warn you at the beginning. They're like, look, there are some instances of this thing that might trigger you. If it bothers you, turn the game off. It's okay. And that to me, like, I know that there's a whole thing right now about like developers being honest about stuff like that, and whether they need to be more honest about things like that. But I really just appreciate the attempt at taking care of people's feelings. So
my favorite RPG, it's a dungeon crawler / slim, is called Persona.
I've heard of Persona.
I've
heard a lot of really good things about Persona. I don't know anything about it. I probably own it on at least one of my systems.
So
I've never played it.
So Persona 3 is the horror nihilism game. It is a horror game. It's not for kids. There are some very interesting artistic choices. You have to see it to believe it. but the story is amazing. I really love the story in Persona 3. Persona 4 is a better game, but I like the story in 3 better. It's my least favorite. It's a better game than 3, but I like 3 a little bit more because it was my first game. And 5 is better than both of them as a game. So it's just like, so 4 was like in the mid. This is my, it's the one everybody got into. It's basically, it's Scooby-Doo on Sims. It's a murder mystery, Scooby-Doo style. It's kind of fun, really, really cool. And then Persona 5 is a heist game. It has also the coolest opening to a video game I've ever seen. It's one of the coolest. But you level your character through the sim aspect, mostly through the sim aspect, a little bit in the dungeon, but mostly in the Sims. The sim stuff you do actually makes your personas in the dungeon stronger, right? So it benefits you, but all the sim characters you are working with, leveling with, talking with, they actually have their own unique stories, character developments. Persona 5 has some very controversial choices, right? Because again, it's not uncommon for a student to date a teacher. It's not necessarily agreed with, but it's not frowned upon either. You get an option to do that in that game, which is something, again, it's a culture thing over there. It is a culture thing over there, right? So you have that option as the main character to date one of the teachers if you choose to go down that path, right? You don't have to, but you can do it. So they make some deliberately controversial choices on purpose. That's part of the game's charm and its appeal. Also,
as a teacher, I don't like that.
No, I figured you might not, but again,
I don't like that.
It's a different culture over there, like I said.
Yeah, no, for sure, but still, I'm like,
Yeah, but again, this was a deliberate choice, right? It was a deliberate choice. It wasn't they knew what they were. This was a very deliberate concept in that particular game. It's a very tiny part of it, and the first boss of the game is the what you think of when you think of a pervy teacher is literally you're kicking his ass for the whole like that. Like you get that aspect of it too. So there's some really adult shit like in this game, but there's also a really good story in the game as well, and probably the best music I've ever heard and the best opening I've ever heard, and that's 5. 3 is more innocent. Kind of. It's got horror. It's got some, again, it's a different culture genre, but it's The Sims and dungeon crawlers put together. And all 3 of those games have that. The one you'd be the least you'd enjoy 4. I'm not sure you enjoy 3 or 5, but you would enjoy 4.
Yeah, I'll have to look into them. I don't have a lot of time to really play games right now, but
So I had to make a decision: television or games. I went with games. Yeah. I completely got like I'm watching The Boys, Harley Quinn, and The Wheel of Time, and that's it. I'm not cool, Abby. I'm not cool at all, right? And I deliberately am okay with that, but I'm playing video games, right? And
I kind of understand. I understand that, and honestly, that would probably be similar for me if I weren't doing storyboarding. I have to watch movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Like I have to do that stuff. But I get enjoyment from playing video games. So, I have to do both. I have to make time for both because entertainment industry, you have to learn how to do those things. So
well, see, and writing's my primary thing. I am actually drawing my first graphic novel. I think you'd be proud of me. I've also been published as an illustrator this year, first time ever.
Congratulations!
So I've done a lot of cool first this year, but yeah, I'm writer primarily. So I read books. Books is my go-to. I always have to. I don't have to necessarily read what I'm reading, but I'm always have to be reading something because it's just part of my development, right? It keeps me fresh in what's going on in storytelling. Television is, although I am directing now, which is kind of weird, but that's okay, right? Television is my least favorite. I have a hard time because I'm engaging so much with everything else I'm doing. Television almost feels like I turn my brain off too much. I can't do it.
Yeah. I started watching Bee and Puppy Cat, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was like, this is going to be dumb, but it's like super unhinged. I'm like, what's happening? This is amazing.
You would like that. You would like the unhinged stuff. I could totally see it. I'm surprised. I don't know. Did you watch the new Wednesday Addams thing? Because I don't know.
Not yet. I say not yet to that stuff, but not yet means maybe I might watch it someday.
Yeah, it's okay.
I need to watch it.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wong. I haven't seen it either.
My assignment for my storyboarding stuff right now is to watch The Fifth Element, but I've seen it like 19,000 times. So
Mila Jovovich is underrated as an actress a little bit. Have you ever seen her actually do her plays and stuff like that? Not her movies. She's really good. She does the movie stuff so she can do her plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
day jobs.
Yeah, her day job is she's an action star. That's her day job, and then her other job is like her music and all the other stuff she's doing, which I think is a cool way to be. So okay, let's get into this before we start drawing. What's the thing you're proudest you've accomplished this year?
I am like a full-time artist now. Whether it's a whole bunch of different things, but I consider myself a full-time artist because I'm directing, I'm teaching, I'm doing like community art stuff. I do social media for the small business that I've been working for about 4 years now. And that's it. Like I'm pretty much a full-time artist, full-time freelancer. So paying bills off of that is awesome. And I live alone. So you can pay the bills being an artist, just not necessarily off of single commissions. That's what I thought when I was younger.
One day you can get there. And there are people that do that, but
I don't really want to.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing though. I don't want to make all my income off of single commissions. That requires me sitting at my desk all day, like, and interacting very little. Like, that's the whole thing about like teaching and directing programs and stuff like that, is that I get a lot of interaction. I get to talk to people a lot. I get to network a lot. There's always something new going on because there are other elements of people in my life. Whereas like, I don't want to just like sit here and draw all day. Like, I love drawing. Don't get me wrong. I draw at least an hour and a half a day every day. But like, I can't get back to that spot where I was like before COVID, where I was such an introvert that I wanted to be doing that, because I felt like less fulfilled that way, because I like I said, like I'm giving back. I'm adding to my community here in the city that I live in. So I'm actually like getting more back, because like, and that's always kind of like a thing with me when I try to explain to people with like conventions and stuff. Everybody's like, you're so peppy, you're so excited. And it's like, yeah, because there's like an equal exchange. Like, there's so much going on, and all of these people are so excited to be here and so excited to see all these things that they love all in one place. And I get excited for that. So being able to like work with people and work with the community and work with students and things like that, it becomes an even exchange. It makes me happier to be able to do that. So yeah, like, it would be great to be able to get like make $300-400 off of a single illustration, but you know, that's not my end goal. I don't need that. I want people to know me because of the things that I do, not because I'm doing. That didn't make sense, but that's.
No, see, let's see if I can help you here. Like, we got to talk about attention here. You want connection, and honestly, I mean, as a teacher, you get all kinds of really cool opportunities for connection, and you wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. And there are a lot of people that feel like you do. That's one of the best rewarding things of teaching, is that connection, those relationships you establish with your students, because the students never forget what a teacher does for them. And I can speak from experience on that one. Right? They never forget it. So that's a great thing. And when you're dealing with people, like, I came back to Calgary, where I'm at right now, to reconnect with some people. and it didn't work out really that as like I thought it would. So, I mean, one of my goals next year is since I can connect with people there, I'm going to go on the road to find the people I really want to connect with, because I want that connection too. So I totally understand where you're coming from. You like your art, don't get me wrong, but you want to meet people. I also noticed you're a lot more relaxed since we last chatted.
Yeah, my anxiety has been like almost non-existent for the past couple of months. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like you've also found some confidence you didn't have before. And I think that's a great thing. That's a great thing. All right. So what's your biggest goal for 2023?
I had one, but I forgot what it was. Things change. I really would like to go to a couple of specific conventions. I got to go to New York City Comic Con this year. And that was really cool. But I would like to actually go to a couple of professional conventions. I'd like to go to Lightbox Expo. I had to miss it this year. And it's always horrifying for me to miss conventions because people post about it online. And I'm like, I'm at home. I don't want to see where you are. I don't want to know what you're doing right now. People are like, I'm at Denver Comic Con. And I'm like, ugh. Like, I want to be there. But like, I would like to actually like participate in a couple of bigger conventions next year. Lightbox Expo, I went to the first one of Lightbox Expo back in 2018, I think, maybe 2019. And that was amazing for me. Just like the networking and the people that I met there and the things that I experienced there were awesome. Yeah, I'd like to do that. But, and then of course, my sister and I have been working on this webcomic, and she ended up getting shipped off to Disney World for the past 6 months. So, we had to pause working on it because you can't publish when you're working for Disney. Or Disney owns it. So we're hoping to get that out next year. And that's kind of a goal.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. My first Kickstarter will be out in April.
Congratulations.
Yes. So if I get 200 backers, I have to do a live karaoke performance.
Nice.
My patrons will get to vote which songs I get to murder. If I get to the miraculous number of 500 backers, I'll do it in a tutu. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So it'd be cool to break into the Kickstarting world. So what are you drawing tonight?
Before I got on here, I was working on a comic that I'm working on and a storyboard that I'm working on. I have like 4 scripts over here that I'm working through. Otherwise I just have a blank square in front of me. So
okay. So what would be fun for you to draw tonight?
I don't know.
You want to just go at it? I'm going to go grab my stuff real quick because so folks, just Abby did this out of the kindness of her heart. She let me go later because then we planned because I double booked myself like an idiot. So she was really nice about it. So I jumped right in, didn't grab quite everything I needed. Everything's over, like literally over there. So I'm just going to grab it real quick. But before I do, I'm going to be doing something Legend of Zelda-y. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So, yeah. So I'll go grab that. And if you want to talk for a minute while I do that, go nuts.
Talk about what? Talk about what to who? I don't have anything to talk about at all. I work purely off of the prompts of other people. That's why I'm a story artist. I'm working
there you go. What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'll show you something real cool before I call it. So this, my first published illustration right there.
Awesome.
Glitter, by the way, in black and white was very difficult for me to do, but like I say, he's not a very happy dragon, as you can see. Just a little unhappy that he got covered with glitter. I think the oddest thing about that whole doing this was I actually learned a little bit more how to draw boobs through the eyes, which is a weird thing. Maybe it's a Freudian slip thing, but it just like the way those eyes came about was like, oh, I learned something here about circles. Okay, I can do other stuff now.
Oh, circles. Maybe I'll just draw circles.
Draw. Hey, why not? You probably make them look really good.
I'll draw circles. I don't know, circles.
Yes. So, but yeah, so I'm now doing my own thing and trying to draw and stuff, and I've grown, and I feel like I owe you and everybody that's come on my show to do art stuff a thank you. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you drawing? Legend of Zelda.
I haven't made a decision, but this is the manga. I'm a big fan of this game. So I'm debating. So I'm going to look in here and I'm going to try to do a piece. Maybe I'll try to do. I've done chic. Maybe I'll do. I think my favorite thing about this version of the story is he actually goes on in this story an actual date with her without realizing it's Princess Zelda. It's pretty fun because so I might do something from that scene. I haven't decided. Maybe that, or maybe I'll just go towards the end here because again, Legend of Zelda's got some really really cool art stuff, right? So then there's like the big reveal of where Princess Zelda was in Ocarina of Time. So I might do that one too. There's some really good stuff there I can pick from. So, so how about you? What's your okay? Is Minecraft your favorite video game franchise, or is it something else?
Destiny is usually what I play.
Yeah. Are you playing 1 or 2?
2.
I have a friend. Who watches the stream regularly. She talks. That's all she talks about is Destiny 2.
Yeah. I'm one of those people that are like, don't get me started. So.
Okay.
Yeah. People ask me about Destiny 2, and I'm like, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to take that back.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, hey, like I'm just seeing if things have changed since we last talked. If you found a new love in your life, and apparently it's still Destiny 2.
Yeah, no, I love everything about Destiny, and it makes me sad when it's crappy sometimes. So.
Well, okay, I am going to ask for a little clarity. What do you mean by it's crappy sometimes?
Sometimes it's not a good game.
Yes.
It's not a game that I recommend to anyone ever. Whenever my friends are like, I'm thinking about trying Destiny, I'm like, cool. Tell me when you're on. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't ever go out of my way to be like, hey, you should play Destiny, because it's not an easy game to get into. If you like lore, then there's a lore bit to it that is fabulous. But otherwise, the gameplay can be kind of meh sometimes. The repetitiveness can be kind of meh sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't mind if it's repetitive as long as it's fun. Like that's kind of the rule there. Some games require a certain. So I love Devil May Cry Ninja Theory version of the game. It's kind of like that. What if the Matrix was actually cool, right? So it's got a bit of that demon wall, fourth dimensional kind of stuff, which is I think really cool. But it's basically, I mean, you're killing demons with an axe every single level because the axe is like your best weapon, and honestly, it never gets old, ever, right? Oh, it is repetitive. It's like, hey, you know what's really cool? I get to kill demons all day long. So it's like, oh, maybe I'm just a simple guy. Oh, maybe I'm just simple. Is that a possibility, Abby?
Yeah, but then a lot of us would be.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. And I'm trying to draw Mr. Link. That's who I'm trying to draw right now, Mr. Link. because Mr. Link is one of those cool, iconic characters that people love.
Something that I do when I'm drawing expressions is I will make the expression while I'm drawing it. So for everybody who is watching this later on, when I'm making weird faces, it's because I am drawing faces.
Yes, and there's something wrong.
Nobody has ever really called me out on that, but
it's okay. Sometimes I talk to myself when I'm writing a story out because I want the dialogue to feel good. So I acted.
Up, goodbye. We lost everything. I don't know if I'm still here. But I will keep being here. Yeah, so yeah. I didn't look up anything about Link. So I don't know what he looks like right now. But I am drawing him. And I am drawing a Triforce. Oh, that's my table. I'm gonna turn off my
I'm back. Kind of, sort of.
Welcome back.
There we go. Yes, my connection said, fuck you. I'm not sure why. Do you have any engaging insights while I was gone?
No.
No. All right. Yeah. For whatever reason, the my connection's just been acting really weird tonight. So, guys,
It's fine.
yeah. So, here's a question, Miss Abby. If I do somehow end up in your neck of the woods as I do my traveling rock show next year, you want to come back and do this live or semi-live?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the premise of the new show will be we'll be eating ice cream and slash Baileys, and we'll just be shooting the breeze like in real life, in real person. You can even draw on the air. I'm cool with that. Like, you know, I'm just like I said, I met some amazing people in the last few years, and I just want to have that connection and meet people, and you know, because again, life is a short and amazing thing, and I just don't want it to pass me by.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That would be a lot of fun. I like ice cream.
Yeah. Got any cool ice cream places in town?
We have a lot of yes, we do.
Yes.
I was thinking about Froyo. I was like, yeah, I love Froyo, and also there are ice cream places too. So
Yeah, sounds really, really cool. Hold on a second here. So my chat has vanished into the ether. So there are comments.
there were comments.
If there are comments, I can't read them now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Everything decided to just go poof, and it came back, and Restream said, "Nope, you're not getting this anymore." Okay.
All right.
Yeah, ready.
Sounds great.
Or something. So where did I put my markers? I actually think I did an okay job on this, by and large. I made his lips too pouty. He looks like Prince Charming from Shrek on the lips than he does Link, but that's okay.
Oh man.
What?
I want to watch
Shrek is amazing. Shrek is a fantastic show. Shrek 2 is actually better than the original, which is something I love it when sequels can top the originals. Oh, the original is really damn good. Not going to deny that, but the sequel is what makes the whole thing kind of pop. And Prince Charming was my favorite new character. Like, not even close. I just enjoyed the whole arrogance of the character. Like, you knew he was just a prick the moment you saw him.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Yeah. I'm trying to do a search, but Pinterest is freaking out.
Pinterest is freaking out?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Just reference pictures.
Yeah, ready. I promise this is just be quick. I'll be quick. I'm just gonna see where I left my ink so I can ink and then color this my first attempt at Zelda 1.
You're already at inking and coloring?
Yeah.
I'm still sketching.
Yeah, well, but you're fat. But you do better work. I'm just practicing and getting the hang of it, and still. So, although I'm doing more of my own original stuff next year, which is kind of fun. So, 1 second.
Okay.
Oh. Where did I put it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at reference pictures. To make sure I get it at least a little close. I've never finished a Zelda game.
Toblerone bar. 1 sec. 1 second. Hold on a second here. Not there. Not there. Ah, there they are. Ta-da! Found the markers and a Toblerone bar.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, see, Toblerone.
I haven't had chocolate in so long.
What kind of chocolate person are you, light or dark? Milk
I
or
like
what
dark chocolate.
Yeah. The better stuff. Definitely the better stuff.
It's better for you.
Oh, yes, it is. It's one of the, ironically, you can actually use it a little bit to deal with stress, addiction a little bit as well, although it does come with an interesting side effect that you can actually make you addicted to it. But, you know. Note to self, this will be the only one I chew on the air.
What?
That one piece of chocolate I'm going to chew on the air.
Oh.
Yeah. That's right, folks. This is a professional podcast or something.
I hate the sound of chewing.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me nauseous. I have misophonia, though, so.
Yeah, so, which is why I decided to stop right at the one bite. Because, like,
I can't hear you chewing.
You can't hear me chewing?
What?
You can't hear me chewing? Okay.
I can't
cool.
hear you chewing. No. I always I think what bothers me the most is that when I can hear myself chewing.
Mm. Yeah, you do hear yourself more, right? So.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, am I actually that loud, or am I just like hearing everything?
It's more I think you're hearing everything mostly.
Yeah. But yeah, like loud chewing and smacking and stuff like that. I'm like, ugh.
Not your favorite sound. So what's your favorite sound in the world? That's an interesting question for you.
Favorite sound in the world? Probably rain.
Rain's nice.
We don't get a lot of rain where I am.
No, you don't.
So hearing it is always nice, and it always smells really good here too.
Yep. No, it would. It would. All right. Let's try to color my Prince Charming link. That's what I'm going to call this, Prince Charming link. Because Prince Charming link is very, very apropos.
I'm drawing on a bigger canvas than I usually do, so I keep on messing my stuff up.
This is smaller than I've been drawing lately, but that's okay. So again, sometimes I'm just going for simple. And sometimes simple just requires, a little bit of patience, but not major. That's what I've done here. So besides Persona, my other favorite RPG kind of game is the Tales series.
Tales from the Borderlands and stuff?
No, Tales, like it's not a JRPG, like Tales of Arise, Tales of Celia, Tales of Symphonia.
I've heard of those. I don't know anything about them though.
Those ones are hilarious. They're actually designed like once upon a time when I was actually good at video games, like actually good at them. I was a fighting game guy.
Mm-hmm.
I could beat literally anybody I wanted to in Street Fighter. I was really good at Tekken 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken was another game I was really good at. But so Tales games have the RPG grinding, leveling up, but it's also got a bit of a fighting game kick to it, which for me was like, oh, this is a dream come true. This is a dream come true. Pardon me. But my other favorite part about it is when you win, you get skits from the characters. And sometimes it advances the story. Sometimes it's just funny. Just funny interactions the characters have with each other. So sometimes you're winning, it's like, oh, you get this really cool story moment. And sometimes you're winning and you're like, okay, this shit's hilarious. Like, who thought of this? Like, who actually thought of this?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and it's got like, some of them have a really good story. Like Celia is my favorite in terms of story. But my favorite parts in the game have more to do with the just the excess skits and silliness. Like, you can tell these characters are kind of like family to each other, and it's cool when you have characters who generally like or tease, harass each other in like fun ways. It's like, okay, I'm into this, right? And every once in a while in these games, you find these really cool Easter egg skits, which make you go, okay, that is hilarious. So those are my kind of the games at this point in my life. So it beat like one game a year now, whereas back in my much more nerdy days, it was all the time. I could beat most games relatively fast. You just don't have time anymore as an adult.
Yep. You gotta make it.
Yeah. As an adult, you actually got to do things and make adult decisions and stuff. Do you want to see my Prince Charming link?
Sure. Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Prince Charming link, ladies and gentlemen. Prince Charming link. So I gotta try to draw something else here real quick. Is it too early to ask for you to reveal show the world what you're doing?
I can share.
Yeah.
I decided to do Link and Zelda as well.
And folks, sure, hers is going to be much cooler than mine. Sure. That is really cool.
Is it sharing? I'm frozen on my screen now, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's your internet connection that did what I did as well. So it is sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It is sharing. It looks badass. I'm gonna shut it down. See if it helps you with your link.
Yeah, I'll stop.
Let's see if it helps you.
Now it's gonna kick me out.
Hopefully not. If not, I can hear you. I can't see you.
Yeah.
So it looks like we both took turns playing Ninja here. So
I guess I can't tell.
Interaction. Like, you play games. Pardon?
Can't see anything or think. Can you hear me?
You can't. I hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
There we go. I fixed it.
There you go. You came back.
Yeah, my restream is weird because it's like there's a button down at the bottom. It said stop sharing. And I was like, okay, cool, stop sharing. And it stopped sharing, I think. But then it was still trying to share. Yeah. So I had to click the other button. It's weird.
Yeah, I use Restream because it's relatively easy to use, right? Yeah. And it goes across. If I wanted to put this on Facebook and all the other streams, I can do that with this. Mm-hmm. But the downside seems to be it just doesn't like playing nice with certain computers. Just does not like doing it.
Yeah.
So I made Charming Link. We're gonna push Prince Charming Link.
I got this cool new thing. I don't think People can see it. I have a hotkey thing. So
Oh,
I don't have
nice.
to move around my keyboard anymore. And I got to program all of the lights and stuff myself. I was like, yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome indeed. Well, let's see here. We can do this a couple different ways. Right. Let's see. Let's do this kind of fun. So do I want to do Chic Zelda or Zelda?
I feel like, so I've never actually completed a Zelda game. And in that, like, it's more like I don't have time to complete a Zelda game. Like, I have Breath of the Wild and I've done a lot of fetch quests in that game, but I just like, I can't, I don't have time to complete the main story quest. And especially with your weapons breaking and stuff like that, that drives me insane.
That's a Breath of the Wild thing. That's a Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
thing. Sure.
that drives me crazy. I'm like, why do I have to baby this weapon? And then I'm afraid to use it. And that just it made it entirely unenjoyable for me. At least the combat system, I like doing the quests, but the combat system itself, I'm just like, I don't want to break this sword. Like, so
yeah, no, I get it. In Ocarina of Time, so they have a sword that does break, but it's a fake. It's almost like a fake version of your ultimate sword. It's a fake version, so it only has so many swings and then it breaks, right? Mm-hmm. But you still have your master sword. You still have lots of other weapons you can use, right? So it doesn't feel as bad in that game. But no, Breath of the Wild, it's a regular thing. You only get like 20 swings on a weapon, and then it's like, well, you've got to go to town, or you got to make a new weapon, or you got to just do something.
Yeah, or this weapon that you probably will only find one of. That's the only, sorry, that's it. You got to hang it up in your house or keep it in your inventory. Like that, I love the game. I really do, but the combat and the way that the weapons break, just can't do it. I can't do it. Like there's too many other things to stress about in the game for me to like worry about, like if my weapon's about to break.
That's fair. For me, my favorite Zelda game is Ocarina or Link to the Past. Again, I'm an old son of a bitch. Why you go back in time so much? Because those were the games I grew up with, folks. And just like I know that a lot of the games you're seeing today, we're talking about today, will be the games other cool people are going to grow up with. Right? It just won't be me. And I'm okay with that because I'm not cool. And I'm all right with not being cool anymore.
My replay all the time game is Spyro. When they remastered it, I was like, pre-order. Didn't even question it. Pre-ordered the shit out of it. It was awesome.
I can respect that. Spyro's a cool game. Right? Spyro is just a really cool little game. But for me, it's Final Fantasy VI. That's my go-to replayable one because it's got the coolest premise I've ever seen. The bad guy actually wins in that game. Something I've never seen before, and honestly hasn't been done as well since when it has happened. So it's kind of interesting that was the way they went with it, right? So, but that's my opinion. I'm sure other people will say, well, no, but it's like, no, I mean, the bad guy wins, and he wins because he's absolutely crazy.
It's cool to be crazy. I'm gonna be the bad guy that wins someday.
But I don't know. It seems like you're winning now.
Oh, sorry. I'm the bad guy that's winning now.
Yeah, you are winning now. You're a full-time freelancer. I came close to that this year. I actually it looked like I was going to make about $3,000 a month, starting in November. So doing just freelance projects, and that got cut literally in half. It was like, I was a little choked, but that's part of the game. I think that's just part of the process. I think next year I win. That's just what I think. I could be wrong, but I think there's a point next year I just win.
Yeah.
I'm awesome. And I'll do like a Final Fantasy like victory dance when that happens. Favorite part about the Final Fantasy games, the music when you win. That's the best part of the Final Fantasy experience. Screw everything else. It's the dance. You are dancing, and people know it. Oh, okay. So I gotta do that. And let's see. Yeah, I'll be hopefully published a little bit more as an illustrator next year. It's kind of the hope. We'll see how it goes. And I'll be releasing more books next year. And I got a comic strip coming out at some point this year. I did last year. That's going to actually see the light of day at some point. And beyond that, I'm just kind of waiting and seeing. I've submitted to a few other places. So I'm kind of hoping to hear some good news sooner than later. But, gotta kind of see what happens. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yes. So how many things will have your name on it next year? You said you're working on 4 storyboards right now. So you're doing fairly well.
I'm at 6 published right now.
Nice. So we're ever going to see the Abby Butler written, drawn, everything but the kitchen sink book? Is that a plan?
What's that?
Like Terry Moore, like how he writes straws, pencils, inks, colors, everything. Like
probably not. No, there was something that I was working on for a while, and it's still there, but it's not getting done the way that I want it to, and I don't have the attention span to write scripts, so it's probably not going to happen.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Just was wondering if you had any aspirations that way.
I did. I used to, and I just don't anymore. I like working on other people's projects. I'm totally fine with working on other people's projects. So, I like helping other people bring their things into reality. My own stuff it pops up once in a while, but I think I'm so not against, but like I don't do fan art very much, that when I actually talk to somebody that really has like an excitement for their own story, that it's nice to be able to empathize with that and like help them realize it. So my own thing, those will always be in my head, but there's always stuff bouncing around in my head. I just don't have time, and that doesn't bother me.
No, that's fine. That's fine. At the end of the day, there's no right. Like the one thing I've kind of been re-emphasizing the last couple of years is there's no right or wrong way to do something. It's just I just think you just gotta be honest about what you're after in this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, that's it. Like as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, who am I to tell you? In fact, I still got some catching up to do. I mean, you're kicking all kinds of butt.
I try.
Yeah. I think you're succeeding. Sounds like you're pretty. All in all, you're pretty happy with your life.
Yeah, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. So this is kind of the last thing I'm going to draw tonight because you have been incredibly generous with your time. I don't want to feel like oh man, can I leave yet? Right. I want you to feel like you're having a good time here, and we've had all kinds of problems with connections tonight, and You've been awesome, and thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is always fun.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, I mean, like the next 100 episodes are the last 100 like this. But I gotta say, I am thankful that I actually got to meet you on this show. So I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You brought us all in for Cthulhu,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that the thing I'm proudest of, honestly, is I have my own very unique view of the universe, and I know that not everybody agrees with it or anything like that, but everybody feels like when they're here, they can be themselves, and that's what I've shot for this show the whole time. Just I want people to feel, hey, you can be yourself, you can disagree with me, you're not going to, right? You can just be unequivocally you, and it will rock.
That's always a good thing to bring into a stream.
Yeah. So I decided to do a chic. That's what I decided to do. Similar kind of pose. No, you can't do a Prince Charming chic because you can't put the obnoxious lipstick on chic in a mask. It just doesn't look right. So you can't do that. But what you can do, which is what I'm doing, is I am trying to color up Mr. Miss Chic and make them look like the badass they are, because they were one of the coolest parts. I figured out after the third temple in the New World that this is Zelda. Okay. Where is Zelda? And you're like, oh, she's right in front of me. Okay. I can't wait for this reveal. And it was pretty awesome. But yeah. But this was my favorite Zelda game. Like, it's not even close for me. So, and I say that as a guy who also enjoyed Link to the Past, but this was my game. This was the game I thought was super cool. So. Yeah. So how's it coming over there?
Good.
All right. Almost there. I'm just doing. Oh, shit! I missed a detail. That's kind of cool. No. Not a huge miss, but just a little miss of a detail there.
I have a Benedict Cumberbatch link. So
Benedict Cumberbatch link.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty badass. I did Prince Charming from Shrek. I think yours is slightly cooler. So I mean, so which of the Shrek
now turning into Benedict Cumberbatch? So
is he going to have the Doctor Strange mustache?
No, it's just his face shape.
Okay, that's fair. I had to ask. I hope you understand it.
Yeah, I've only seen like the first Doctor Strange, and I didn't like it. So,
well, Doctor Strange, in my opinion, should be what would happen if the Matrix was actually cool. That's what his movies should be. It's not always what happens, but it's what his movies should be. So that is not. Because he can bend spoons and stuff like that. He should, It's like, oh, you are Neo of the Matrix. Only, yeah, probably a little cooler. Probably. All right. This has actually been kind of cool to put all this together. So let's add the last little pieces to this, and then show the world that this is chic. I think the amazing thing for me is I can see how much better I've gotten over the years. I'm almost good now. I'm not sure how that happened, how that happened, but I'm almost good now.
It's always that. I think my favorite thing is always actually liking a piece that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
And then I hate it. So it's like we get a couple of seconds of respite, then the rest of it's just like, meh, sorry.
It's like, it's not my best work. God damn it. You just can see everything you could do better, right?
Yeah.
I actually, my whole approach with drawing has been actually not to worry about that so much, but rather just to have fun. Like, make it fun. Because if it's a fun process, you're always just going forward. And I find it's almost like getting better by default, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Default. Because you did the drawing, and that's the important thing. The rest, well,
I guess.
Yeah. I've learned this a long time ago. Like, showing up is really most of the battle, right? The rest of it is just, a decision of what you like, and I'm okay with that. So I don't have to be the best person in the room. I just have to be the guy that finishes the job in the room. And I find it just mentally, it just puts my mind at ease. It's like, I don't need to be the best person at this. Lots of other people can have that claim if they want. I won't. Okay. Here is my take on chic. See. Da, da, da.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Miss Abby, how much longer do you want to keep chilling? I'm cool with hanging out with you, but I also know you have a time schedule too.
Yeah. Whatever. We can be done now. I know you've already kind of wrapped it up. So
Well, I wrapped up the drawing part. I mean, we can still talk for a little bit. I mean, we will be promoting your Kickstarter this month, right? So we'll mention that here. But how much more do you want to go? This is about you now.
However long. We got another like 15 minutes, probably 10 minutes.
Okay, we can go 15 more minutes. Yeah, that sounds good. So, are you getting more work now? Is it easier to get more work for yourself now?
What do you mean? I mean, there's like, it depends. Like, if you're asking about comic stuff, or are you asking about like what? Because again, I do so many things. Like, I'm not just a freelance illustrator.
No, so, but okay, you mentioned, so this feels like a year ago, right? You are in a very different place then than you are now. It seems like, again, I'm going to attribute that as, like, I think you found some confidence somewhere along this journey, and I think that's awesome, right? But I also think that, again, when we were talking here, you were like, I got 4 different storyboard things I'm working on. I'm doing project stuff at the teacher thing. It's like, whatever vision you had for yourself, right? You seem to be making that a lot more real. And as such, you seem to be busy in like the best kind of way. So what I'm asking you is did you kind of like turn a corner this year? Because it feels like you did.
Yes. Like you said, I have a lot more confidence in myself personally. I think that I really developed that this year. Like I always had confidence in myself professionally, but I needed to kind of like fix that other side so that I could like actually be happy, because it's like I definitely like had myself in a space where it was like, all right, well, I'm successful here. I'm doing what I want to be doing. I'm creative. I have a million outlets to be creative, um and that was good for me professionally, but actually like taking time and space to develop how I felt about myself personally really needed to happen as well. Um, and I attribute that to a lot of different things. We had a teacher come in for um, one of the training programs that I direct, who was talking about how you really have to, like, it's good that you're working. It's great that you're working, but what are your boundaries in work? How often do you actually take time for yourself? So I spent a lot of time in the past couple of months really defining what um, defining what to me is a hobby and what to me is professional. So I, when I draw, it's all professional. Like that is all professional, whether it's development or work or teaching or whatever. Anything that is illustration stuff is absolutely my job, and I love it. And I'm lucky to love my job. Um, Anything crafty falls more into um, falls more into hobby, and that was something that was important for me to define, because a lot of times, like, there's always like that rush before conventions to create a whole bunch of different things, and people are like, wow, you did all of this. And I look down at what I've done in a panic over the past couple of months, because I feel like I need to fill a table. And I'm like, yeah, I just like I wake up and I have these fever dreams, and I'm in this fever dream until I'm done prepping for this convention. And I love conventions. So it's always kind of like it's cool in a way that it is truly like a fever dream of prep, but also I needed to file it in the right place, because conventions to me are two different things. I go to conventions to network, and I go to conventions to make a little bit of money. The money is not important. It's never been important to me. Making back the table is great. Having a little bit of extra money to like have a nice meal with my sister, because she always helps me out, is great. To be able to like take her out and like pay her for the time that she sits at the table while I'm out talking to other people is fantastic. But really, like, conventions to me, like, that prep work isn't as necessary as the personality that I have to have during those things. So it really, like, that prep work and that stress needed to be filed under a hobby so that I can allow it to be a hobby rather than a stress or a job or something like that. Like I'm not saying I'm so busy because I'm doing my hobby stuff. I'm saying I'm so busy because I'm enjoying myself.
And that's
So
a good place to be at. I think it's important. Like drawing for me is more fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing drawings next year for a few projects, but it still falls more into the hobby category. I don't think I'm never, I think, going to be like you in the sense that I'll be doing interiors for someone else's book. I mean, who knows? Stranger things that may happen, but I mean, it's not my goal. My goal is to have fun with my drawing because it's more into the hobby category than a living category,
yeah,
right? It's more there, right? Whereas crafts is the same thing for you. Like you probably do probably if you wanted to make some money with the crafts, you can, but it's your place to be creative and fun and not have to worry about anyone else's expectations but your own. And
yeah,
that's an important thing you need as a creative somewhere in your creative space. It's like, this part, I'm just screwing off.
Yeah, and it helped too because I like to be able to like define what I'm doing at the time as well. So it's like okay, well, I probably need a business card for this hobby because I'm a ceramicist. I as a hobby, I do ceramics. So you know, when people go, like know me for that, it's like, okay, well, that's cool. You know me for my hobby, and that's fine. That's fine. But like the people that I need to know me for my illustration is a whole different thing. So being able to like have those in different categories has been really helpful for me too. So yeah.
So you made things specific. You set boundaries for yourself, professionally and personally, and you just show up and do the work. And then somewhere along the way, it just transformed into, I'm not going to say happy Abby, but confident Abby. Found kind of came to the forefront.
Yeah. Confidence is probably better. But you know, with confidence also like I feel like the more confidence me personally that I gain, like there's still that element of the imposter because it's like here I am in this room, like, and it's definitely been something that I've noticed more recently, like especially with working on storyboard stuff, is that like people don't always listen to me, like, and that's always weird because I'm like, I'm a teacher, like I have all of these things that I'm doing, like I'm awesome, like in my own confidence, like I'm awesome, but then like you still have to maintain humility with it too, and be humble. So that introduces in its own little imposter thing too, because it's like, well, am I being humble enough too? Like, am I learning still? Am I allowing myself to still learn? So yeah, confidence in itself can be a stress too.
Well,
So did I like, was I talking over people? At the thing last night, was I bossing people around, like was I stepping on people's toes, like they're like just being aware of all of that.
I see. Okay, so I came to a wonderful compromise with my imposter there. This is it. Okay, so I'm going to, and I've learned this doing the podcast, to let people talk and listen. And most of the time I do a good job. Every once in a while I want to just jump in. Like I just almost want to jump in there because I kind of know where you're coming from there. What I learned, I think what I learned is I'm not as worried, and this is going to sound selfish at first, is I'm not worried about stepping on people. I'm more concerned about being authentic. Because if I'm authentic, right, I'm not saying I'm going to deliberately run over somebody with my mouth. I'm not going. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, if I'm me, and I'm just being me, I know I'm going to sometimes rub people the wrong way. I know sometimes it's not going to jive the best. But on the flip side is it also filters out people that may not actually fit with who you are, right? So I'm going to worry about being me.
You're making other people compromise, but you're not compromising.
No. I didn't say anything about making anybody compromise. Not at all. They can be.
Exactly. They can step off.
Well, no, not even that. It's not even about that. It's like, can I be the best me I can be? And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm always humble. Doesn't mean I'm always an egomaniac. Am I the best version of me here? I'm not expecting anybody else to compromise with me either, right? It's just, this is who I am, right? This is just who I am. And you're either going to like me for it, and there's not really a compromise. You're either going to like that I'm dishonest with you, or you're going to dislike it. And what I've learned is I've made peace with that. I'm not for everybody, and I'm not going to try to be for everybody. Instead, I'm going to just try to be me, and I'll let the chips fall where they may. It's not about compromising. It's not about not compromising either. It's just, I got to be myself, and I'm not going to, and I have to be happy with the person I am. And I'm assuming if you're here, I'm dealing with the same thing. Again, I'm not trying to crush anybody. I'm not going to try to railroad anybody. I'm not interested in that. But this is me. you know.
Good.
Agree, disagree, think I'm on something or onto something?
It's good to be comfortable with yourself.
Yes. Fair enough. I found that dealt with the imposter a little easier. Again, there's always things to work on, but I try not to sabotage myself. That's the thing. I find it's really easy to get caught in that. Well, what if I was this or what if I was that? It's like, nope, this is what I was, and okay, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but anyway, so good luck with your 2023.
Thank you. You as well.
So we probably should talk about your Kickstarter. So what are you doing?
So Might, Magic, and Monsters in Law is an anthology directed and put together by Alan Bay. He is in Singapore. There are 16 or 18 different stories in it. It is on Kickstarter right now. I have a link. I don't know where I should put it.
I would normally have a chat overlay here. What I will do, when is your Kickstarter due? Like, when does it end?
We have, let's see, 27 days.
Okay, so why don't you send me the link via Facebook, like when we're done,
Sure.
and I'll make sure this goes up next week before Christmas,
Sure.
before everything goes crazy, because I like podcast has definitely been on like a slow mode. I've only done like 8 episodes this month, which for me is not very much. Actually, not even 8, or like 4 episodes this month, which isn't very much, and I'm only doing 3 more this whole month because it's December and nobody is going to be around. After this week, everybody's going to be like, I've checked out. I'm done. So I look at it kind of like I want to make sure everything's done before then. So yeah, no, I'll definitely make sure it's up. 27 days. So what's your story in it?
I did not tell Travis Gibb about what the story was, but there is some stabbing. And that's all that I'm revealing, is that there is a little bit of stabbing. No, there's no stabbing.
No stabbing?
And there might be a Dawson's Creek cameo, maybe. But you have to buy the book to find out. So
okay, Dawson's. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is available on Kickstarter now.
Now. Might, Magic, and Monster-in-Laws. Yeah. I worked with Ludi Sexton from Warden Comics on it. He wrote it in like a day. He sent it to me and I was like, lol, that's funny. I'm ready. Let's go. So we finished it in record time.
Nice.
So yeah. The whole process with him was awesome. He had a pitch ready to go. He just wanted a little bit of art to go with it. And it was just hilarious. And I'm finding that I'm getting a lot of stories that are just like, this is the funniest thing I've ever read. So, I really enjoyed working on it, especially with him because he was just like, I trust you. And that's always fun. So like the changes that were made were minimal and everything. And Alan was awesome. We just dumped it in a box somewhere on the side of the road. And now it's being published in an anthology.
Well, congratulations. And if people want to contact you for work, how would they do so?
My website is colorwired.com, or you can find me on Instagram as colorwired. It's exactly what it sounds like, COLORWIRED. So my website or my Instagram are both great places to get a hold of me. You can always find my email through either one of those ones. So
fair enough. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the only stream this week. As I said, this has been a slowdown. I've been developing a series and other things. But next week will be kind of like a penultimate drink and draw for the holidays. And that'll be episode 900. And that will be fun. I want to thank Abby for coming out and hanging out. She's always rocks and is awesome. All right. And possibly made of cheese. Who knows? Anyways, for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. For everybody listening, stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.